talk about anxiety and depression and living with sadness. This is actually a huge epidemic going on today with people throughout the world. And United States in particular are probably one of the largest drug consumers for medicating themselves with Prozac and Xanax and all this stuff to help them deal with their sadness and depression. These are not the answers. So much of sadness and depression is linked to either living in the past or living in the future. Oftentimes we find ourselves going over and over scenarios or past traumas or past hurts that have taken place from either when we were children or young adults, or it could even be a week ago or yesterday, but we keep playing and playing this scenario over and over again in our head. And it just leads us to this really dark place. And it's a dark place that oftentimes that we feel that we can't even get out of. And oftentimes too, people might even be living in fear of their future. And that's creating more sadness and anxiety and depression. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. Either lost in your past or you're worried about your future and what's to come when it hasn't even taken place yet. So one of the most important things that you can do is stop and get present and really focus on where you are today and what's going on in your life. And if it's something that already happened, you can't change that. There's nothing that you can do about something that already happened. But what you can do is heal your story that is associated with those painful experiences that are causing you your sadness and your depression. Another thing is too that I often find people, they get caught up in others' perception of them. And how others perceive you is not truly who you are. So when you can start losing everybody else's preconceived notions of who you are and their labels and what they identify you to be, and you just say, you know, that's not me. Whatever names that you were called. I think about today's society and all of the young kids that are growing up today that are growing up either gay, or we even have transgenders now, or just children that are just really unique, but they're called different, or all these labels and, you know, names that people call them and make you feel bad and make you feel not accepted and not a part of society. And it's so heartbreaking. But you have to realize is that this is your challenge that you came in here with. It might be your karma, but it's your challenge that you're going through. But it's how you're going to deal with it and get through with it that's going to make all the world of the difference. And if you know and you just own that I am not how others perceive me, I am one with the divine. I'm a mini God. And how does God, source, whatever you want to call it, perceive us? We are perceived as absolutely loved and perfection. And so when you know that and know that you are as special and magical and beautiful as every other person out there, and no matter who's in your life, whether it's your parents or your co-workers or your peers, you know, people that you go to school with, whatever their identity is of you is not who your core essence is. Your soul is divine. Your soul is perfect, and you are always loved. Start waking up and looking in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. I love you. You are amazing. Really try to start focusing on your special qualities that you carry. Go on a treasure hunt and go look for those qualities if you don't know what they are. But we each were born with completely unique and special qualities that makes us all so special. Start learning and finding out what makes you special, and start self-loving yourself. It's another one of the many steps to you healing yourself and your story, is to start implementing as much self-love that you can to help get you out of that dark cave and that dark place and losing your story. Lose that story, what, you know, not getting love from your mom, not getting the love that you needed from your dad, or you know, maybe a partner, or, you know, your co-workers, or like I said, your peers at school. Just forget all of that. Start your own self-love and start empowering yourself and becoming stronger and stronger. You can move forward to get self-help through so many beautiful books out there. You can go to my website, look at my beautiful blogs that I wrote on sadness and depression, listen to the videos that I've made or that others have made. Go see a kinesiologist, a shaman, or a trusted psychologist, or a life coach that can talk with you and help you move through your fears. Oftentimes when we write down what it is that's causing us that sadness and depression, whether it's fears, anxiety, whatever it is, look at it on a scale of 1 to 10. What's that number? What is that number? Is it 1? Is it a 10? Whatever that number is, write down your greatest fear associated with it. When you start to write down actually the scenario and the fears that are associated with it, oftentimes it's not as big as we make it out to be in our head. And when we write the solution, even if we can't see it at that exact moment, keep going back to it and saying, if this happened, what would I do? What would I do? What would I do? And just keep going back to it until you find the solution. Once you realize that the solution is there, you start to say, okay, you know what? If this worst case scenario that hasn't even happened yet, it's just a thought that I'm, playing around with in my head about my future. But if I can realize now that maybe after all, it's not so bad because I've actually wrote down a solution to this fear that if it ever happened, now I know I can get through it. Ask for all the right people to come into your life to help you and heal you. When I need assistance and when I need guidance in my life, I always stop and go to prayer and I just pray, please bring the right people to me at the right time for exactly what I need for this solution right now. Write it down. Say it to yourself over and over until that solution, that answer to your prayer shows up. Imagine if you could see that we all were born with these beautiful magical angels since the day that we were born that are next to us, and they're called guardian angels. Everybody's probably heard that term, but believe it or not, we all have these many different aspects of ourselves, and that guardian angel is truly like a higher aspect of ourselves, and that is like this beautiful invisible guide that is with you throughout your whole life, holding your hand and trying to lead you to exactly the places that you want to go. Oftentimes we ignore these. It's what we call our intuition. We often don't listen to our intuition, and it takes us down a different path. It's not that it's a wrong path, but it's really not the right path for you. It's not your path to your higher self, but we were born with free will. At all times, we have the capability to create our own choices, wrong or right. So sometimes in my heart is telling me, go left, but I don't listen to it. I want to go right, so I have to explore that. Maybe it ended up not being the right thing for me, and I'm going to end up coming right back to that same starting point and then making the left-hand turn. But we have that guidance next to us at all times that we can use and pray to and talk to and say, guide me, show me the way, show me, how to get out of this, show me how to get out of this dark cave, this sadness, this depression that I'm living with. Forgive those that have hurt you. So much of your past sadness and depression often comes from you lingering with situations that have happened before, with people that have abused you or spoken kindly to you and just treated you in a bad way. And so you keep playing that over and over again. But if you actually implement a complete forgiveness towards them and just say, I'm not going to hold on to this anger and this sadness anymore. I want to let it go. So part of you letting it go and releasing your past is just one by one, listing all the people that have hurt you before and just saying, you know what, I forgive you. I don't want to carry this pain and this hurt and all these sad memories and these icky feelings inside me. So I'm going to let it go because this is going to be my part of my self-help and my self-healing. And it doesn't mean that it makes it right. Forgiveness is healing your own story. It's taking out your own pain and your own sadness out of your body and mind and getting rid of it because it doesn't serve you anymore. There are so many natural supplements that can help you with depression and sadness. Some of my favorite is ashwagandha, beautiful, beautiful root. St. John's wort is another one, and Tulsi tea. There are so many natural remedies that you can take in lieu of all prescription drugs that can help you overcome your sadness and depression. But one of the biggest ones is start meditating. Learn how to meditate and just close your eyes. And when you really just start to focus on seeing yourself in a complete mental, physical well-being and visualize yourself getting out of those dark spaces, getting out of those dark caves, being happy, being comfortable with who you are, no matter how others' perception has been about you, and just saying, I love you, you're amazing. And while you're meditating, you can close your eyes and just see yourself as you really want to be, and know that you're getting yourself through these challenging, sad times, and just stay in a really positive, optimistic time frame that you're getting through all of this. Implement some beautiful affirmations. Affirmations, when repeated, start to go deep into your subconsciousness and alter your belief system and your thinking patterns about yourself. So when you want to shift from a place of sadness and depression to hope and joyfulness, think about affirmations that could support that. Like, every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. I am releasing all mental anguish and replacing it with joy. I am fearless and optimistic. I am lovingly creating my new reality. I am finding joy and happiness in all areas of my life. Really think about which ones really speak to your heart, so they can help shift your mind out of sadness and depression back to hope and confidence, and know that you have the ability and the right to be happy and joyful every single day of your life. It is your God-given birthright. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Namaste.